What's up everyone, my name is Tyra and this is my board Ultraviolence, and today this video is going to be a skate with me, a beginner, in my garage. So please don't expect anything all fancy, no fancy skate clips or tricks or anything like that, because I'm still working on the basics. However, if you're a beginner too, I will try to help you with the things that I know. If you're more advanced than me, which you probably are, drop some tips, since you're probably going to be watching me skate on, where I can improve. I would appreciate that greatly. And we are going to get into the skating really quick because one, I don't know what to say, and two, I'm shy, and three, I would rather skate. So let's go. Alright guys, we are in my garage and I have already stretched out. I have to stretch, unfortunately, because I have old knees, and after I skate my knees hurt, so stretching helps eliminate that pain, even though it doesn't completely absolve it. It just cracked as I stood up, so there's my point. I'm going to set you guys over here. Excuse my garage, I just moved, so we don't have stuff organized all the way in our garage. So I like to start off with a few penguin walks. It helps with my balance, and give me a sense of board control. You could turn these into monster walks, actually. Woo. Remember to bend your knees. But yeah, anyways, I like to do those. So, and then I like to turn it into monster walks. But I would usually do that at the skate park, so, but I still try to do it here. Next, I get into my ollies. Ollies are like the foundational trick, so I definitely try to work on that as much as I can. Whew. Especially since I'm learning the kick flip and the heel flip. All these are very important, so I start off with a couple of those. Standing still. I believe I turned my shoulder there. And one of the things that I'm trying to work on is keeping my head straight or looking forward. That's something that has, been a trouble to me when trying to learn how to ollie over objects. I'm so used to, looking down. You can't even see me. But anyways, so when ollieing, a lot of beginners, including me, this is what I've been doing, is we look straight down at the board, but I've been trying to practice on looking forward, like having my head this way but my shoulder straight, because that will help you learn how to ollie over objects a lot easier. I struggle with learning how to ollie over objects, not really ollieing while moving, but just like ollieing onto over objects and onto objects. So I think that's probably the reason why, because I'm so used to looking straight down at my board rather than looking forward. So I'm going to practice that. And as you can see, well, you probably can't see, but I'm turning my shoulders too, so you know, it's a lot better. And then another thing that I'm doing is I'm leaning a little bit too forward. So, you know, it's always good to notice on the little things that you're doing. Yeah, bad example. See, that was a good one. Head looking forward, and you know, is able to do it. Okay, I'm gonna try some while moving. Wasn't ready for that, but excuse me, I'm shy. But yeah, looking forward, it kind of, you know, messes with you compared to looking straight at your skateboard. So I suggest, you know, just doing it, you know, right the first way and practicing looking forward rather than at your board, you know. So let's try this. Now, a lot of people, they tell me that my ollies are pretty high, and you know, it doesn't feel that way, but when I look at the videotapes, they are high. So, whew, out of breath. So what helps me ollie is I have my back foot over here. I'm goofy, in case you can't tell. So I have my foot back here, and then I have my other foot right here. Now, I think right here is good for beginners because you get stability and you're able to get the drag that you need to have a higher ollie. Whew. This is tiring. To get that drag. Now, the drag is the most important thing. What I like to do is, here, let me show you my foot positioning. Okay. Okay, so here we go. I like to keep my foot right here, and then my back foot over here, like I said. You know, every time you pop your tail, I don't know if this is factual or not, but it helps me. Every time I pop my tail, whoop, I rotate my ankle because it's good practice, you know. Because I mean, most flip tricks, ollie, you're dragging straight up. Heel flip, you're dragging straight out. Kick flip, you know, I haven't landed a kick flip, so I can't really speak for that. But supposedly, you're dragging out in front of you as well. So it's a very good habit. Every time you pop your tail, just twist your ankle and whatnot. Woo. I'm very out of breath. So what I like doing is just like in my spare time taking this, you know, it's supposed to wear on this part of your shoe, so I just like dragging that into it, you know. And pay attention to your knee, because your knee also has a role in it, because when you jump, you're bringing both of your knees up to your chest. So it's not just in the ankle, it's not just in the movement of the foot and the ankle. You also gotta kind of lift up with your knee as well, because that's gonna help you when you jump. And a lot of times, like, you know, let me show you guys real quickly. Okay, so a lot of times when you don't have like an ankle involved, you just kind of do like a ollie, like that, you know, if that was even an ollie or not. But when you jump, you want to make sure that these legs are lifting up like this. So when you bend down and you jump up, you're not jumping like that. You want to bend down and jump like that. So it's kind of like you're squatting in midair, if that makes sense. So let me try to show you. But yeah, I think that was a perfect example. See how much high I was able to get, compared to, you know, just doing something like that. I mean, you still got height, but it's nowhere as near what most people call it, suck your legs up to your chest area. And you want to have your shoulders in line with the bolts. I think people know that as well, but that also plays a part into, you know, you can have your shoulders in line with the bolt, but you want to make sure you're not leaning too far over this side, which is what I tend to do, or too far back. You want to be in the center, you know, the lines go both ways, so you want to be have your shoulders in the center of here and in the center of here, and this, you know. So yeah, as far as popping goes, you're gonna bend down on the balls of your feet. You're gonna bend down, and then as you raise up, you're also popping with this foot. So let me show you exactly what I mean. I'm not gonna do anything with this front foot. I'm just gonna bend down, you know. So I'm gonna see, it's like I'm jumping, you know, so you get that extra leverage. So bend down, pop. And right after you pop, since it's a jump, that's where you're gonna be able to bring your knees up. So let me actually do it all for you guys. Drag. And as you're popping, you're also dragging up and into the nose. Next, what I want to work on is heel flips. I've been working at getting heel flips since I think the middle of November, and I'm just now finally able to land some, you know, sometimes. Other times, you know, they still need work. So I've been working on trying to land that. And a kick flip, heel flips are coming much easier to me, because every time I kick out, every time I set up for a kick flip and I kick out, I think I'm kicking this way, but it turns out I'm kicking like the heel flip direction. So I might as well get heel flips on lock and then work on, you know, kick flips and stuff like that. I can do a shove it, but I mean, they're not my favorite trick. You know, this is my first shove it of the day. Yeah, I don't really care for shove it's. They hurt my shin. So, you know, I need to get warmed up. But I did buy some shin guards, so yeah, I can do shove it's. Sometimes they come, sometimes they act funny. I can do front side as well, but I don't really prefer to, because I mean it's the same thing except jumping backwards. I have the rotation for it. So, you see, you just jump backwards. But I'm like committing to this right now. That's not my goal right now. My goal is heel flips. And usually I skate with some music on. But I mean, this is YouTube, so if I get copyrighted, you know, that won't be good. So these are my heel flip attempts, you know. So we're back in this position again. You probably can't see my face because the sun's coming through. But when I do heel flips, my foot, this being like the tip of my shoe, is usually right there, over here. So let me see, right here, if that makes sense. And what I do is, whoops, not right there. I don't have my foot like this, but I have it sort of like this. And how I do my heel flips is I'll kind of get into this position and slide my foot up like an ollie. And I noticed that when I drag, I use this area. So I move my foot over to where I know when I drag straight up like an ollie, it will flick off there. So it's just like another ollie, because that's what everyone, they keep telling me. They're like, oh, an ollie or a heel flip should feel just like an ollie, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. So that's just what I do to make it more realistic as an ollie. My back foot's in the same place. If I can't really land it, I'll try, you know, just going like that. That helps a lot, especially when it's not going. You don't want to mess up your muscle memory by doing something damaging to it. Because I feel like I did that with my kick flips or something, because like every time I try to do a kick flip, it just comes out like a heel flip. See, look. Like, I don't know why, but I guess it's just muscle memory. But I think I did find a little fix for it. So when I was kick flipping, I have my foot like this. Let me read the camera. When I was kick flipping, I have my foot, whoops, like this, pointed towards the wheel, and then I have my back foot over there, and then my body is kind of like aligned with the board. But what I kind of do is have it like shifted forward a little. Meanwhile, I'm dipping my shoulder in line with the board, but my shoulder's kind of like down to my my nose. Not exactly, but that's like the ideal goal. Kind of like dip down towards the nose and stuff like that. Meanwhile, my hips are centered over this area, you know. So there's that. Let me get this set up. So that's my position for kickflip, and I just figured this out like yesterday. So I do that, and then I act like I'm just kicking something out there. Like, I guess people say ninja kicking and stuff like that, but I mean, I don't ninja kick, so I just kick out in front of me. I used to play soccer, so I pretend it's like a soccer ball, I guess. Because when you kick a soccer ball, you know, you have to have your foot like this in order to, like, you know, kick. So so that's why I turn my body kind of in that direction, so it helps. And and it kind of helps me get the kickflip direction. So you probably won't have that problem. Just in case you do, there you go. So yeah, I'm gonna try to land one. And it's good to record like these type of things, because a lot of times your weight distribution is what messes you up. So it may feel like you're adjusting yourself, but you know, you're not. So that was a good one. Praise yourself, because I mean, your legs, your muscles, they're doing the best that they can. So even the small victories, try to praise them. And if I feel like I'm messing up like too much over, I'll just do like an ollie, because people say it's supposed to be like an ollie. So I'll just do like an ollie, and then I'll go into it to kind of help me get back into that feeling. And I'm so close to getting it down consistently. I think what's going on is when I'm doing this, I'm kind of doing like a jump like this instead of like a jump like that. But at the same time, it's very exhausting as well. Whew. And when I'm doing this, I'm always trying to land anywhere on my board, as long as my feet touch pink. That's how I know that even though I didn't necessarily land it, I committed to it. The only time I'll do that is I'll not like land on my board is if my weight is kind of a little bit too far back. But I think you'll notice, out of breath, but I think you'll notice that my foot is always above. Like every time I pop that, it's always gonna be above the board. Even though it may land like back, it still goes above the board. So we'll get that. And I noticed with that one, what I did was I kicked it out, which is what you don't want to necessarily do. It's not really a kicking motion, it's a dragging motion. Fluid dragging motion that makes it look like a kick. But sometimes when I'm moving, I just kick out. But I mean, that's what practice is for. And then when you're doing the heel flip, you want to be careful having your foot like kind of like up here, because sometimes when you lift up, it goes up here and you don't really get enough drag. So, you know, I'd say from anywhere like over here is a good place to have your foot. So maybe like an inch away from the front bolt is good, or you know, some people do in the middle, but you can get a rocket heel flip like that. Even though my heel flips sometimes are rocket, I think it's because, you know, I'm still learning how to do it. I mean, all these are typically rocket when you first learn them, so I imagine heel flips will be too, and then you get to, like, you know, perfect them. But yeah. And what I think I'm doing, I'm pretty sure you could be able to see my feet are landing like this. My feet are landing like this, or like that. It's probably because I'm leaning over too much, because I mean, I tend to do that with my ollies, so gotta work on that. Depending on how you're like leaning forward or backwards, it depends on whether the board will go in front of you, stay under you, or behind you. Another thing that I typically do is when I land, I'll land like this, and that's just because, or what I think it is because my shoulder is turned in that direction, because I'm looking at the front board to try to catch it and stuff like that. But I'm trying to stop myself from doing that as much as I can, and it may be good for you to keep that in mind as well when you're learning these. So yeah, I'm leaning too forward is what I'm doing, and that kind of happens when you're like, you know, exhausted. So take breaks. Take breaks. Listen to music. So right now I'm pretty tired and exhausted. So when you notice you're feeling like that and you keep trying your trick and it's not landing, you're probably, you know, messing up on something. So you just want to stop, give yourself a little break and like move on to something else. And also, if you find yourself getting angry with the trick, you might want to move on to something else as well. I know a lot of that anger is typically passion because you want to land it so badly, and your feet aren't just doing what the feet are supposed to do, and your legs are doing what you're supposed to be doing. And from experience, if you're a beginner, just, I mean, you could choose to do that. That's what I did personally, and I mean, it still took me 2 months, is it? Yeah, like middle of December, that's 1 month, and we're in the middle of, or near the end of January. So yeah, that's like 2 months of me doing like every day. I haven't been to the skate park in like 2 months, but every day that I'm not at the skate park, and even when I was at the skate park, I was working on my heel flips, my kick flips, whichever one came first. Heel flips were a lot easier, so then I started focusing on heel flips, and heel flips were like making me like just angry. I would do it to the point where I just wanted to like break my board, which, I mean, not really a good decision. And then finally I started deciding on working on kick flips, but then my kick flips were turning heel flip direction, so I went back to heel flips, and then all of a sudden, every blue moon, I start landing heel flips, you know? But in that time, I suggest working on different tricks. Because some of the tricks I tried to do were like a no comply 180, which, I mean, is in. Frontside 180s, I tried to do that as well, because I was able to kind of do it somewhat. But when you don't do a trick for a while, I think you tend to lose it if it's not in your muscle memory. And it just wasn't. So let me show you mine. Front 80, some days it's there, some days it's not. And what messes me up is my shoulders. Like the wind up, I don't know, it kind of confuses me. It just feels awkward moving and then like going like this and popping and then turning. So some days it comes, some days it doesn't. You know, it's just something like quick like that, and something as simple as that, you know, it could turn into, let me see, something like that, you know. I think I tried to overcompensate the turn and I messed it up. So, you know, I'm not really focused too much on it right now, but one day I may get it down. And that was close. I mean, some days I can do them. I'm not saying that I can't completely do them, but it's just not consistent. So I think that was pretty decent. Let's see. Let me try one more time. See, it comes and then it doesn't. So, you know, you take what you can get. One more time. I'm so close. So, yeah, don't be discouraged when you fall. usually when you fall, the next couple of times, you're gonna land it. So just keep going. So let me just do some. Oh, did my shoelace come on? I flicked my shoelace off. So that's how you know that, you know, I'm just getting lazy. My foot's getting tired. But just gonna do an ollie. And then we're gonna try to land this again. Yeah. See, I'm tired right now. I should probably stop. But I like ending on a good note. So if I know that I got a good flick in, then I'll end on that. If I land it, then that's even better. But I don't want to do like, you know, a lazy thing. I want to end off on a good note. So that was okay. I landed on both feet on the board, so that's good. Again, don't forget to praise yourself on the small victories. So yeah. I am pretty tapped out. I'm doing like half heel flips. I don't know. I guess I need to flick harder. Let me see. And you want to be careful not to necessarily with let me see, turn off the music, don't want to get copyrighted. So with ollies and with heel flips, and I can imagine kick flips, you're not necessarily just dragging up. You're not just doing that, because what will happen is you go down to pop, and then your foot instantly just hits up here, but you don't get the drag. It's all about the contact dragging up. So you want to make sure it's kind of going, you're not going down, but you're kind of bringing your foot into your nose. So with the sucking in of your knees, that will help ensure that you're flicking into the nose, or, you know, off the side of the nose. See how it vibrates off the side of the nose rather than, you know, just kicking it. And sometimes I end up kicking it and it goes flying. So see, I'm not getting a good drag through right now because my leg's kind of tired. But I just want to end on a good note. So this close. So that was good. There we go. So even though my toes touch, it was still, you know, a good flicking action. My muscle memory has left off on a good note, and we are done. Thank you for skating with me. Be sure to check out my first month progression video. The second and the third month, they're coming out, you know, as soon as I get the editing done. I have the footage. It's backed up in my phone. So as soon as I'm done editing, I'll put those out. Until then, you'll get skate with me videos. You know, let's see how this goes. It's my first time. Sorry, I'm all out of breath, but whew, I'm tired.